What's going on, guys? So today we're going to be talking about something that is very important to me right now, and that is the fact that politics has kind of seeped into every little aspect of life, more so than ever before. And I am somebody who is deeply political. I have a lot of very strong political opinions, and I do voice them. However, it is not something I want seeped into everything, right? It's not something I want in my video games. It's not something I want in my entertainment for the most part, unless I am seeking it out. And that is kind of the problem, I think, of why America doesn't feel, well, the world doesn't feel like how it did probably 10, 15 years ago. And that is just because it's seeped into everything. Every single person has to have a strong political opinion, even if they're not educated. And that is extremely dangerous because uneducated people are extremely easy to manipulate into having opinions they wouldn't if they were fully educated, to have opinions and believe things that are completely against everything else they stand for, because they're uneducated and they feel this pressure to have some sort of strong opinion because it's being pushed on them by the left, the right, whoever it may be. Everybody's being pushed on by a force to have an extremely strong political opinion because everybody needs to agree with this or everybody needs to agree with that. We need to be fighting for Palestine, guys. We need to be fighting for Israel. We need to be fighting for Ukraine. Everybody has to have super strong political opinions or else they're made to feel like a social outcast. It's not okay to say, oh, no, I don't vote. I'm not educated enough and I really don't feel like it's my place to vote because I don't do the proper research. No, you can't say that anymore. You're an evil piece of shit that supports Nazis if you do that. Or if you just say, hey, I don't care about politics. I just want the government to leave me alone. I'm not doing anything illegal. I'm just going to go and chill by myself. And no, you have to be involved, all right? You have to, if you're not against them, you are for them. It's really just this false dichotomy of, oh, if you don't support Kamala Harris, then you support Donald Trump. And it's like, no, not necessarily. I can hate both of them. Well, I hate both of them. I don't hate them equally. Kamala Harris definitely would have been a lot worse for the American populace, even as bad as Trump is now, because we would still be supporting Israel in a relatively similar capacity. Maybe not as much, but most likely just as much. Because basically all American politicians are just in Israel's palm. They're getting funding from Israel. And Israel's admitted to this. They've admitted to funding United States influencers, political influencers in particular, to basically push Israeli propaganda onto U.S. citizens. But getting off that, I don't want to go on a tangent. They're trying to take away our basic freedom of association, to be able to associate and do what we want within the confines of a sense of morality. For me, that's non-aggression. For you, it might be something else. It should be non-aggression, hopefully. But they're really just trying to make you have to pick one side or the other. It's a real false dichotomy that is ruining American discourse. This is also part of the reason on why it seems like you can't just have a respectful conversation anymore, especially online, because people have to have these insanely strong political opinions and they can't listen to anybody who disagrees with them at all. We have to resort to violence when people disagree with us. We have to resort to yelling and screaming. And this is not just the left, guys. This is conservatives as well. And there's so many people who actually believe that you can't be friends with people that you have political disagreements with, right? Like a leftist can't be friends with a moderate, guys, right? That is the world we're in right now. You can't be friends with somebody who is, say, a neoliberal if you're a conservative because you guys disagree, right? No, just don't talk politics with that particular friend. Keep it civil and just chill. And you know what? If they insist on talking politics, just say, hey, I don't want to talk about that with you, then don't be friends with them maybe, if they're going to keep pushing that, trying to push their ideology on you. But if you guys both like each other and you disagree on some things, why not just have a nice civil conversation about it, or just don't talk politics with that person at all? If it really is that important to you, then maybe, just kind of disassociate and take yourself away from that person. But they don't want you to be able to do that. They want to attack you with words and with force, but mostly with words online. They want to try and shove their ideologies down your throat. They don't want you to be able to look at evidence and choose what you actually believe. They want you to believe pre-approved opinion trademark. Download it right from MSNBC or CNN or even Fox News, whatever. They don't want you to actually think. They don't want you to agree with third parties because then, oh my God, a third party might win. That's also why it's pushed that third parties can never win because, there's just not enough people. No, the American populace is roughly split into 33, 33, and 33. 33% of people are generally would support third parties over the other two if they thought that third parties could actually win. And then the other two are just 33% Democrat, 33% Republican. You guys probably know this, but there's this propaganda being pushed out there of, nobody on a third party could ever win, so just don't vote for them. You're basically wasting your vote. And everybody has that mindset, therefore a third party can never win. Sorry, I went off on another tangent, but just you want to be able to distance yourself from these things and just not have it shoved down your throat constantly that you need to believe this opinion. You need to believe this, that, whatever. That's why I also hate political advertisements on YouTube and things like that, because when I go on YouTube to watch a video, unless I'm watching a political video, I'm going on YouTube to escape the real world, to, watch somebody play a video game or listen to a scary story or something like that. I'm not going on there because I want to be fed political schlop from the DNC or from the RNC, right? And the reason they're pushing all of this out there is obviously it's propaganda, right? I mean, they're trying to convince people of a certain belief, and they want you to feel politically and socially pressured into forming strong opinions. And hopefully, if you don't really want to do that much research, you're just going to form your opinions off what you're really seeing in the news a ton instead of actually diving deep into it. They don't expect you to read Rothbard. They don't expect you to read Hoppe. They don't expect you to read Mises. They don't expect you to even honestly read Karl Marx if they want you to be a socialist. They just want you to accept whatever they're feeding you and not ask any questions. And that's really an extremely dangerous thing. So guys, I really just want you to seriously think about what you're believing, and if you don't want to put the time and effort into understanding politics, don't vote, okay? Because it's a lot better to not vote than be an uninformed voter, in my personal opinion, as well as a lot of other people's opinions with evidence backing it up. This is why democracy doesn't work, is because the masses are so easy to manipulate into voting for somebody who they completely disagree with. They just don't know it. A lot of these Trump people would definitely disagree with a lot of things that he said if they actually understood it and weren't just following the crowd because everybody in their town supports him, so might as well support him too. Same with the people supporting Hillary in 2016 and just leftists in general. It's because they want to be around a certain crowd, and that's what this crowd believes, so I have to believe this or else I'll be an outcast. That's why a lot of academics are socialist, is because if I want to be in this academic space, I have to be a socialist so that they'll accept me, or I have to be a leftist so they'll accept me, just a general leftist. Neoliberalism has kind of taken over, and it is, especially in academia. Classical liberalism is not what liberalism is anymore, unfortunately. And that was another tangent I kind of went off. But yeah, I think that's really all I wanted to say with this video. If you guys enjoyed, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hype the video if you can. I've been seeing it on my on some videos I've been watching. I don't know what it is, but it can't be bad. So please do it. I think you get like 3 of them a week, it said. And maybe that'll push me in the algorithm. I don't really know how it works. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. If you enjoyed, thanks, and goodbye.